Welcome to The Slate Echoes of Lavender Caves, a soothing audiobook designed to guide you towards a state of deep relaxation and peaceful sleep. If you find tranquility in this story and wish to experience more journeys like this, we warmly invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel for further restful soundscapes and stories. Before we begin our exploration of the Slate Mountains and the mysterious Lavender Caves, let's take a few moments for a gentle breathing guidance to help you settle in and release the day's tensions. If you prefer to journey directly into the narrative, chapter timestamps are available in the description below, allowing you to skip right to the start of Anya's adventure. Now, allow yourself to find a comfortable position, either lying down or gently reclining. Let your body soften and sink into your space, feeling the gentle support beneath you. Perhaps you can adjust your blankets to feel just right, creating a nest of warmth and security. Let this be a sanctuary just for you, a moment to shed the outside world and turn inward. Imagine the cool, smooth touch of slate beneath your fingertips, the soft lavender light enveloping you in a peaceful glow, and the distant promise of calming echoes awaiting within the mountain's heart. Let's begin with a slow, calming breath. Gently inhale through your nose, drawing in the fresh, clean air, imagining the scent of lavender and pine filling your lungs. Hold for a moment, and then slowly exhale through your mouth, like a soft whisper on the mountain breeze, releasing any tension or lingering worries. Feel your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, and your brow smoothing with each breath. Visualize the pale slate mountains rising gently, bathed in the softest light, and the quiet village nestled peacefully at their feet. If your thoughts drift as they naturally do, simply acknowledge them with kindness and then gently guide your attention back to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There's no need to strive or focus intensely. Just allow yourself to be guided by the gentle rhythm of the story and the soothing cadence of the Lavender Caves. Feel the subtle pulse of the earth beneath you, steady and reassuring. Let it carry away any remaining stress and welcome you into a realm of tranquil slumber. Allow the echoes of the slate and the lavender light to cradle you into a night of deep, restorative rest. And now, let us begin our journey into the heart of the Slate Mountains. Chapter 1. The Whispers of Slate. Anya arrived at the village nestled at the foot of the Slate Mountains as the afternoon sun began its gentle descent, casting long, soft shadows across the valley. The air was remarkably clear and crisp, carrying a faint, invigorating coolness that hinted at the mountain heights above. She inhaled deeply, the scent of pine trees and damp earth filling her senses, a welcome change from the close air of the city she had left behind. A sense of quiet anticipation settled within her, a gentle stirring of hope that perhaps in this peaceful place she might find the solace she sought. The village itself was small and quaint. Constructed from the very slate that gave the mountains their name, the houses seemed to grow organically from the landscape, their gray stone walls warmed by the afternoon light, blending seamlessly with the natural surroundings. Smoke curled lazily from chimneys, carrying the comforting aroma of wood smoke and something subtly sweet, like baking bread or simmering herbs. A gentle hush permeated the air, broken only by the occasional murmur of voices and the distant tinkling of a stream somewhere nearby, promising a haven of tranquility. As she entered the village square, Anya was greeted by the sight of a small fountain crafted from polished slate, its water burbling softly and continuously. The sound was calming and rhythmic, a gentle counterpoint to the quiet stillness of the village. Around the square, villagers moved at a slow, unhurried pace, their expressions serene and welcoming. Children played quietly near the fountain, their laughter soft and melodic, adding to the overall atmosphere of peaceful contentment. Anya felt a sense of immediate ease, as if stepping into a place where worries simply dissolved into the clean mountain air. A kind-faced woman, her eyes crinkled at the corners with warmth and experience, approached Anya with a gentle smile. Her voice, when she spoke, was low and melodious, like the rustling of leaves in a soft breeze. She welcomed Anya to the village and offered her a steaming cup of herbal tea, the fragrant steam rising in delicate curls, carrying the soothing scent of chamomile and mountain herbs. Anya accepted gratefully, her fingers warming around the smooth ceramic cup, feeling the gentle heat seep into her skin. The tea was warm and comforting, its taste subtly floral and earthy, leaving a pleasant lingering warmth in her chest. As she sipped, the woman explained that she was Elara, the village elder, and that they had been expecting her. News of Anya's journey seeking the Lavender Caves had traveled ahead on the mountain breeze, carried by the whispers of the wind. Elara spoke of the caves with reverence, her voice hushed with respect, describing them as a place of profound peace and gentle healing, a sanctuary for weary souls. Elara then led Anya to a small, cozy cottage nestled at the edge of the village, its slate walls adorned with climbing vines bearing delicate purple flowers. Inside, the cottage was simply furnished, but welcoming, with soft wool blankets draped over a sturdy wooden chair and a small fireplace laid ready with dry kindling. The air within was cool and dim, offering a respite from the afternoon sun, and carried the faint, comforting scent of beeswax and aged wood. A sense of quiet invitation permeated the space, urging Anya to rest and settle in. Setting down her small bag, Anya ran her fingers along the cool, smooth surface of the slate wall, feeling its grounding presence. She could almost sense the ancient stillness of the mountains embedded within the stone, a quiet strength that resonated with her own yearning for peace. Outside, the village sounds continued their gentle hum, a lullaby of tranquility that eased the tension in her shoulders and the tightness in her chest. She felt a subtle shift within herself, a softening of the edges, a beginning of the calm she hoped to find in the heart of the Slate Mountains. Elara returned with a small basket filled with freshly baked bread and mountain cheese, the warm, yeasty scent of the bread mingling with the slightly tangy aroma of the cheese, creating a comforting and homely fragrance. She placed it on a small wooden table near the fireplace, offering Anya a simple evening meal. Her movements were slow and deliberate, each gesture infused with a quiet grace and kindness that further soothed Anya's spirit. There was no rush, no urgency, only a gentle flow of peaceful moments. As dusk began to deepen, painting the sky in soft hues of lavender and gray, Anya sat by the window, watching the village lights begin to twinkle like fallen stars. The air grew even cooler, carrying the scent of night-blooming jasmine from a nearby garden, its fragrance delicate and calming. The murmur of the village had softened to a gentle whisper, and the rhythmic burbling of the fountain provided a constant, peaceful backdrop to the quiet evening. Anya felt a deep sense of gratitude for this haven of tranquility, a place where the whispers of Slate promised a journey towards inner peace. Closing her eyes, Anya took another deep breath, allowing the scents of jasmine, wood smoke, and mountain air to fill her lungs. She felt the weight of her worries begin to lighten, replaced by a gentle sense of anticipation and a quiet hope for the days to come. The whispers of the Slate Mountains seemed to call to her, promising solace, and the gentle echoes of peace deep within their lavender heart. Rest settled upon her like a soft blanket, inviting her to surrender to the quiet embrace of the mountain village and the promise of restorative sleep. Chapter 2. Ascent to Lavender. The morning dawned clear and bright, painting the Slate Mountains in soft, pearly light. Anya awoke feeling refreshed and surprisingly rested, the deep quiet of the village having worked its gentle magic through the night. Opening the cottage door, she was greeted by the sight of Elara tending a small garden filled with fragrant herbs and delicate wildflowers, the air already buzzing softly with the sound of awakening bees. The scent of rosemary and lavender wafted gently on the morning breeze, invigorating and calming in equal measure. A feeling of peaceful energy filled the air, promising a day of gentle exploration and quiet wonder. Elara offered Anya a simple breakfast of warm porridge and fresh mountain berries, the sweet, tart scent of the berries mingling with the creamy aroma of the porridge, a comforting and nourishing start to the day. As they ate, Elara spoke of the path to the Lavender Caves, describing it as a gentle ascent, winding slowly upwards through meadows and alongside murmuring streams. She emphasized the importance of taking one's time, of noticing the small details of the journey, the wildflowers, the bird song, the subtle changes in the mountain air. Her words were like a gentle invitation to slow down and immerse herself in the tranquility of the natural world. After breakfast, Anya prepared for her ascent, donning sturdy leather boots and a light shawl woven from soft mountain wool. Elara gifted her a small pouch filled with dried lavender and chamomile, suggesting she carry it with her to further enhance the calming atmosphere of the caves. The scent of the dried herbs was immediately soothing, releasing a gentle floral fragrance that filled Anya with a sense of calm anticipation. She thanked Elara with heartfelt gratitude, feeling the elder's gentle kindness as a warm blessing for her journey. Setting out from the village, Anya followed the winding path as it began its gentle climb, the slate stones smooth and cool beneath her boots. The air grew noticeably crisper and cleaner as she ascended, carrying the invigorating scent of pine needles and damp earth. Sunlight filtered softly through the branches of tall pine trees, casting dappled patterns on the path ahead, creating a dance of light and shadow that was both mesmerizing and calming. The sound of a nearby stream grew steadily louder, a gentle rhythmic murmur that accompanied her steps like a peaceful melody. The path meandered through meadows dotted with wildflowers of every imaginable hue, from delicate lavender blossoms to bright yellow buttercups and vibrant bluebells. Butterflies with wings like stained glass flitted lazily among the blooms, their movements slow and graceful. The air hummed with the gentle buzz of bees and the soft chirping of unseen birds hidden in the foliage. Anya paused frequently to admire the wildflowers, their delicate beauty a quiet reminder of the simple wonders of the natural world. As she climbed higher, the view opened up, revealing panoramic vistas of the valley below, a tapestry of green fields and slate-roofed houses bathed in soft morning light. The distant village looked peaceful and serene, nestled at the foot of the majestic mountains. Anya paused to take in the view, feeling a sense of awe and gratitude for the beauty that surrounded her. The vastness of the landscape seemed to dwarf her worries, putting them into gentle perspective. She passed a small waterfall cascading down moss-covered rocks, its water sparkling like liquid crystal in the sunlight. The sound of the falling water was both refreshing and invigorating, a natural symphony that filled the air with a sense of vitality. Droplets of cool mist kissed her face as she drew closer, a gentle, awakening sensation that heightened her senses. The moss beneath her feet was soft and yielding, a carpet of vibrant green that invited her to pause and rest. Continuing her ascent, Anya encountered a shepherd tending his flock of sheep grazing peacefully in a high meadow. He greeted her with a warm smile and a gentle nod, his eyes reflecting the quiet serenity of the mountains. He was Kalen, Ilara had told her, a man deeply connected to the mountains and their lore. His presence exuded a calm and reassuring energy, like the steadfast presence of the mountains themselves. Kalen offered Anya fresh spring water from his flask, the water cool and pure, tasting faintly of minerals and mountain air. As she drank, he pointed out the faint lavender hue that sometimes appeared in the slate rocks in the higher reaches of the mountains, a subtle hint of the magical caves that awaited. His voice was calm and measured, speaking of the caves with quiet reverence and understanding. He described the echoes as a gentle song of the mountains, a balm for troubled hearts. With renewed anticipation and a heart filled with quiet hope, Anya continued her ascent, Kalen's words echoing in her mind like a gentle reassurance. The path grew steeper now, winding through groves of ancient pine trees, their needles soft underfoot, releasing a calming, resinous scent with each step. The air was noticeably cooler and still, carrying a subtle hint of lavender on the breeze, a whisper of the magic that lay ahead. She felt herself drawing closer to the Lavender Caves, guided by the gentle whispers of the slate and the promise of profound peace. Chapter 3. Entering the Lavender Caves. The entrance to the Lavender Caves appeared suddenly as Anya rounded a bend in the mountain path, a dark opening in the pale gray slate, almost hidden amidst a cluster of ancient gnarled pine trees. A gentle coolness emanated from within, contrasting sharply with the warmth of the afternoon sun outside. The air around the entrance seemed to shimmer slightly, as if holding a secret, a promise of tranquility and hidden wonder. Anya paused, taking a deep breath, a mix of anticipation and quiet reverence filling her heart. As she stepped across the threshold, The change was immediate and profound. The sunlight outside seemed to recede, replaced by a soft, diffused lavender light that bathed the cave interior in a calming, ethereal glow. The temperature dropped noticeably, a gentle coolness that felt refreshing and grounding. The sounds of the mountain breeze and birdsong outside faded, replaced by a profound stillness, broken only by a faint, rhythmic pulsing that seemed to emanate from the very stone itself. Anya felt as if she had stepped into another world, a sanctuary of quiet magic and profound peace. The lavender light seemed to emanate from the slate walls themselves, casting a soft, even illumination that was soothing to the eyes. The walls were smooth and cool to the touch, the pale gray slate tinged with subtle hues of lavender, creating a breathtakingly beautiful and calming environment. Intricate patterns and striations ran through the stone, like ancient calligraphy etched by time and nature. Tiny crystals sparkled within the slate, catching and refracting the lavender light, creating miniature constellations of soft, gentle luminescence. The rhythmic pulsing grew slightly stronger as Anya ventured deeper into the cave, a deep, slow hum that vibrated through the floor and up into her body. It was a sound that resonated not in her ears, but deep within her chest, a gentle beat that seemed to synchronize with her own heartbeat, slowing it, calming it. The air within the cave was still and silent, carrying a faint, earthy aroma of damp stone and a subtle, floral fragrance that hinted at lavender blooms, though no flowers were visibly present. A sense of deep peace permeated the air, heavy and comforting, like a gentle embrace. Anya walked slowly, her footsteps soft on the smooth slate floor, her senses acutely attuned to the unique atmosphere of the caves. She ran her hand along the cool cave walls, feeling the grounding texture beneath her fingertips, drawing strength and stillness from the ancient stone. The lavender light seemed to soften the edges of the world, blurring the lines between reality and dream, creating a space of gentle wonder and quiet contemplation. She felt a sense of lightness and ease settle over her, as if shedding the weight of her anxieties and worries with each step deeper into the caves. She came to a larger cavern, its ceiling soaring upwards into shadow, the lavender light diffused and even throughout. In the center of the cavern, a small spring of clear water trickled gently into a shallow pool, the surface of the water reflecting the soft lavender glow like a liquid mirror. The sound of the trickling water was delicate and rhythmic, adding to the overall sense of peace and tranquility. Around the pool, smooth, flat stones offered themselves as natural seats, inviting rest and contemplation. Anya chose one of the flat stones and settled down, feeling the cool, grounding touch of the slate beneath her. She closed her eyes, focusing on the rhythmic pulsing of the caves, allowing it to wash over her, to permeate her being. The sound was deeply calming, almost hypnotic, drawing her attention inwards, away from the external world, and into the quiet sanctuary of her own inner space. She felt her breath slowing, her muscles relaxing, her mind beginning to quiet. Opening her eyes, she observed the play of lavender light on the cave walls, noticing the subtle variations in hue and intensity, the way it highlighted the textures of the slate and the sparkle of the embedded crystals. The light seemed to breathe gently, pulsing softly in rhythm with the deeper echoes of the cave. It was a light that soothed and calmed, a visual balm for weary eyes and a restless mind. She felt herself becoming more and more immersed in the gentle magic of the Lavender Caves, surrendering to their quiet power. She reached into her pouch and took out dried lavender and chamomile, holding it gently in her palm. The fragrance intensified in the still air of the cave, releasing a wave of calming floral and herbal scents that further deepened the sense of tranquility. She inhaled deeply, allowing the soothing aromas to fill her lungs and penetrate her senses. The combination of the lavender light, the rhythmic echoes, and the fragrant herbs created a powerful synergy, a symphony of calm that resonated deeply within her. Sitting in the heart of the Lavender Caves, surrounded by soft light, gentle echoes, and calming scents, Anya felt a profound sense of peace begin to bloom within her. The restless spirit that had driven her here began to quiet, replaced by a sense of stillness and serenity she had not known for a long time. She was enveloped in the gentle embrace of the caves, welcomed into their quiet heart, ready to receive the healing echoes and the profound tranquility they offered. Chapter 4. Heart Echoes in Stillness. Anya spent the day within the Lavender Caves, allowing the rhythmic echoes to wash over her, to penetrate every fiber of her being. The pulsing sound remained constant, yet ever-changing. Sometimes a deep, resonant drone, sometimes a series of soft, melodic vibrations that seemed to dance within the lavender light. She discovered that by simply focusing her attention on the echoes, her mind would naturally quiet, drawn into the steady, calming rhythm of the cave's song. Thoughts and worries seemed to drift away like clouds in a gentle breeze, leaving behind a sense of spaciousness and stillness. She explored the cavern further, discovering hidden alcoves and smaller chambers branching off from the main space, each bathed in the same soft lavender light and resonating with the same peaceful echoes. In one alcove, she found a cluster of larger crystals embedded in the slate wall, their facets catching and refracting the light in a dazzling display of gentle sparkle. They seemed to hum faintly, vibrating in harmony with the deeper pulse of the cave, adding a subtle layer of shimmering sound to the overall soundscape. She touched the crystals gently, feeling their cool, smooth surfaces and sensing a quiet energy emanating from within. Near the spring-fed pool, delicate ferns grew in crevices in the slate, their fronds of vibrant green against the pale gray stone, adding a touch of natural life to the cave's serene interior. Droplets of water condensed on their leaves, sparkling like tiny jewels in the lavender light. The sight of these resilient plants thriving in the cool, dim environment was strangely comforting, a reminder of the quiet persistence of life, even in the most still and silent places. Anya observed them closely, appreciating their delicate beauty and their quiet strength. She spent hours simply sitting by the pool, watching the water ripple gently, reflecting the lavender light in ever-changing patterns. The sound of the trickling water was a constant, soothing murmur, blending seamlessly with the deeper echoes of the cave. She drank from the pool, the water cool and incredibly pure, tasting faintly of minerals and a subtle sweetness that was both refreshing and grounding. The coolness of the water on her tongue and throat was a pleasant sensation, awakening and calming at the same time. As the hours passed, Anya noticed subtle shifts in her own inner landscape. The tension that she had carried for so long in her shoulders and neck began to ease, replaced by a feeling of lightness and release. Her breathing deepened and slowed, becoming more rhythmic and effortless, mirroring the steady pulse of the caves. Her mind, once a restless flurry of thoughts and anxieties, became quieter, more focused, more present in the stillness of the moment. She felt a deep sense of connection to the cave, as if it were a living entity breathing and resonating with her own being. She closed her eyes again, focusing on the rhythmic echoes, allowing them to guide her deeper into a state of relaxation. She imagined the lavender light enveloping her, surrounding her in a cocoon of gentle warmth and peace. She visualized the cool, smooth slate beneath her, grounding her, connecting her to the steadfast earth. She breathed in the calming sense of lavender and damp stone, allowing them to soothe her senses and quiet her mind. Progressive relaxation cues were naturally woven into the very fabric of the cave environment. Time seemed to lose all meaning within the Lavender Caves. There was no sense of urgency, no pressure to be or do anything other than simply be present in the moment, immersed in the quiet beauty and profound stillness of the cave. Anya felt a deep sense of timelessness, as if she had stepped outside the flow of ordinary time and entered a realm where only peace and serenity existed. This timelessness itself was deeply restorative, allowing her to truly let go of the anxieties and pressures of her everyday life. As the afternoon light began to fade outside, casting longer shadows across the mountain slopes, the lavender light within the caves remained constant, undiminished. It was a light that was independent of the sun, emanating from within the slate itself, a source of inner illumination that provided a gentle, unwavering sense of calm. This inner light seemed to reflect the growing sense of inner peace that Anya was beginning to cultivate within herself, a quiet strength and serenity that emanated from within. She spent the late afternoon in quiet contemplation, reflecting on her journey and the transformative power of the Lavender Caves. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for this sanctuary of peace, for the gentle echoes and the calming light that had offered her such solace and healing. She knew that she would carry the memory of this place within her, a quiet echo of peace that would resonate within her heart long after she left the Slate Mountains. As the day drew to a close, Anya felt a gentle prompting to begin her descent, a subtle inner knowing that it was time to return to the village, carrying the stillness and peace of the Lavender Caves within her. She rose slowly from the smooth stone, feeling refreshed and renewed, her spirit quieted, her heart lighter. She took one last deep breath of the lavender-scented air, carrying the fragrance of peace with her as she turned to leave the sanctuary of the caves, ready to carry the heart echoes into the world. Chapter 5: Descent and Peace. Emerging from the Lavender Caves, Anya was greeted by the soft hues of dusk painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, a gentle contrast to the constant lavender light within. The air outside was cooler now, carrying the scent of pine needles and damp earth, freshly awakened by the evening dew. The sounds of the mountain world returned gradually, the rustling of leaves in the evening breeze, the distant call of a night bird, the gentle murmur of a nearby stream, each sound imbued with a newfound sense of peace and clarity. The tranquility she had found within the caves seemed to have extended outwards, coloring her perception of the entire world with a gentle serenity. The descent was easy and peaceful, her steps light and sure on the winding path. The slate stones, warmed by the day's sun, radiated a gentle heat, a comforting sensation beneath her worn leather boots. The path was bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, casting long, gentle shadows that danced and swayed like friendly spirits. The world seemed to breathe slowly and deeply, settling into the quiet rhythm of evening, mirroring the calmed rhythm of her own heart. As she descended, Anya passed Kalen's flock of sheep, now gathered together in a peaceful cluster, their woolly forms blending into the deepening shadows. Kalen himself stood nearby, leaning on his staff, watching over his flock with a quiet, gentle presence. He greeted Anya with a warm, knowing smile, his eyes reflecting the serene light of the dusk sky. He seemed to sense the peace she had found within the caves, a silent acknowledgement of the transformative power of the lavender echoes. Kalen walked with Anya for a portion of the way, sharing quiet observations about the evening sounds and the changing colors of the sky. He spoke of the mountains with deep affection and understanding, describing them as living entities, breathing and resonating with a quiet wisdom that could be felt by those who listened with open hearts. His voice was calm and soothing, his words like gentle lullabies, further deepening the sense of peace that enveloped Anya. There was no need for lengthy conversation. The shared silence was comfortable and companionable, filled with a mutual appreciation for the quiet beauty of the mountain evening. As they walked, fireflies began to emerge, their tiny lights blinking softly in the gathering darkness, like miniature stars fallen to earth. Their gentle luminescence added a touch of magic to the twilight landscape, a silent, shimmering display of natural wonder. Anya watched them dance and flit among the trees and meadows, their delicate lights a symbol of hope and quiet beauty, mirroring the gentle glow of the Lavender Caves in her memory. The feeling of wonder was profound, yet calm, completely devoid of any excitement or jarring surprise, just a gentle, soothing awe. Reaching the village as darkness fully embraced the valley, Anya saw the warm, welcoming glow of lamplight spilling from the cottage windows like beacons of peace in the night. The village sounds were soft and muted, a gentle murmur of voices and the comforting crackle of fireplaces from within the houses. The scent of wood smoke and evening meals hung gently in the cool night air, a homely and welcoming aroma. The village felt like a haven of warmth and tranquility, a gentle embrace after her journey into the heart of the mountains. Elara greeted Anya at the cottage door with a warm smile. her eyes radiating gentle welcome and understanding. She offered Anya a comforting bowl of warm vegetable soup and freshly baked bread, the steam from the soup carrying the fragrant scent of herbs and root vegetables, a nourishing and soothing meal for the cool evening. The simple act of sharing food felt deeply comforting and connected, a quiet expression of care and community. Sitting by the crackling fireplace in the cozy cottage, Anya felt a profound sense of peace settle over her, a deep inner stillness that resonated with the quiet rhythm of the village and the lingering echoes of the Lavender Caves. The anxieties and restlessness that had driven her to seek the caves seemed to have faded, replaced by a quiet strength and a newfound serenity. The journey had not been about escaping her troubles, but about finding a space of peace within herself, nurtured by the gentle magic of the Slate Mountains. As the evening deepened, Anya prepared for sleep, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and contentment. The memory of the lavender light and the rhythmic echoes of the caves remained vividly in her mind, a soothing balm for her spirit. She knew that she would carry this peace with her, a quiet echo of tranquility that would resonate within her heart, even when she returned to the bustling world beyond the Slate Mountains. The promise of restful sleep was not just a hope, but a certainty, a gentle surrender to the quiet embrace of peace she had found in the heart of the mountains. Closing her eyes, Anya breathed deeply, allowing the tranquility of the Lavender Caves and the gentle quiet of the mountain village to envelop her completely. She felt herself drifting easily towards sleep, cradled by the echoes of peace, knowing that she carried the heart song of the slate within her, a constant source of calm and strength, a lasting gift from the gentle magic of the mountains. The night embraced her with soft silence, promising deep and restorative slumber, a peaceful end to a day of gentle wonder and profound healing.